Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Shri Radha, Jai Vrindavan Dham, Jai Shri Yamuna, Jai Shri Govardhan Dham. We are meditating on Vrindavan by focusing on the glories of Vrindavan, which have been given to us by Srila Prabodhanand Saraswati in his book called Vrindavan Mahimaamrita. We have read till the first Shatak, the first chapter, Shlok number 60. Now we are going to go in the other meditations. Radha sadhyam sadhanam yasya Radha, mantro Radha mantradatri cha Radha, sarvam Radha jivanam yasya Radha, Radha Radha vachi tasya kim sesham. Shri Radha Murli Manohar Padam Bhojan Sada Bhaviyan Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Padrajah Swatmane Varpayan Shri Mad Bhagavatottaman Gudanadhi Nityadaradananam Shri Vrindavan Diva Vaibhavamaham Stotum Muda Prarabe. Last time where we left on Shlok number 60, I'll just repeat the bhava, the feeling, because then we connect with it. As I've told you, he gets into ecstatic mood, Prabodhanand Saraswati, and then he writes his shlokas with that mood, and suddenly he'll remember the beautiful pastimes of Vrindavan. Then he infuses this mood with those pastimes, and then he tries to. He's talking to himself, but at the same time, he's trying to make us aware also. He's trying to awaken us from our ignorance. So, all these mixed feelings, when you go through this book and you meditate, you contemplate on them, you'll feel. All those who love Krishna, you'll feel it. All those who love Krishna, who love Vrindavan, you'll feel the emotion, the bhava, the sentiment. Last time he said that person who comes to Vrindavan and after coming to Vrindavan he just leaves Vrindavan and goes away thinking, what is there in Vrindavan? There's nothing in Vrindavan. He says that person is the most unfortunate person. Why do you say so? That he is so unfortunate? He says, yes, of course. He had the chance to get liberation. Now he does not want to get liberated. He wants to go back to the same world which is binding him. Here, it was Radha Krishna. He could have got them. He could have got the association of the Sakhis, of the Rasik saints of Vrindavan. But he leaves them all and goes back to the same old lifestyle which was the cause of his bondage. He says, it is as if somebody gave him the precious jewel, precious stone called Chintamani, which can remove all his problems. But even then, he leaves the Chintamani and goes back because he wants all the problems, because he is so used to those problems. What can I call such a person? He says he is lowest. He's a very, he becomes the lowest dog. Of course. You bring a dog home and you give the dog all sorts of comfort. And the dog does not want to leave, it goes back to its pack somewhere in the dirty place. What will you call? That's what the situation of the person is who, after knowing the glories of Vrindavan, goes to Vrindavan, finds faults in Vrindavan, and then comes back and says, oh, it's a useless place, we went there, it's okay. I don't like Vrindavan, I won't go there anywhere. Okay, no problem. Such a person, he says, after attaining Vrindavan, again leaves. This is what it is. Now we move ahead to Shlok number 61. He says, he gets into very ecstatic mode and then he asks for he prays to Vrindavan that may I get the seva, may I get the service of all the devotees and anybody living or non-living entities in Vrindavan, may I get the service of these people, of the residents of Vrindavan. Seva Vrindavanastha sthirachara nishkareshva vastu mekanta he keva deva brahmadaya suyastata urumahita vallabhaye vrajendoho ete yedvaita sachidras ghanavapusho dura durati dura spurjana mahatma vrinda briha upanishad dananda jananda kandaha. He says, I pray that may I engage in the service of all the living and the non-living entities of Vrindavan, all the residents of Vrindavan. These residents, you cannot even compare with Brahma and all the other celestial denizens. The residents of Vrindavan, whether it is living or non-living, all are glorious. They are very dear. To whom? To the king of Vraja. Who is that king of Vraja? Shri Krishna. All these residents of Vrindavan, whether living or non-living, are very dear to the residents of Vrindavan. Their forms are eternal, spiritual, and full of nectar. Their glories are limitless. They are the root that sprouts the bliss of Upanishads. So here he is saying everything. He wants to be engaged in the service of everything of Vrindavan, living or non-living. What does he mean by that? Why is he talking living? Understood. What about the non-living? Why non-living? Because everything in Vrindavan is eternal. Everything. When Bhagavan was incarnating, all the saints, wherever they were, they desired a position in Vrindavan. All the devatas came to Vrindavan. Lakshmi ji came to Vrindavan. She is doing tapasya in Vrindavan, austerities. Brahma ji became a mountain right in front of Barsana, where Radharani is. So he became a mountain over there. Other devatas also came to see. Some of them, all the devotees, they wanted to serve those who were in the parental mood. They became the parents. Those who were in the friendship mood, they became the friends of Krishna. Those who were in the servant mood, they became the servant of Krishna. Everybody came from many, the Satya Yugas, the Treta Yuga, everywhere. And people who are living in other lokas, they also incarnated in some form or the other because they all wanted to be there in his pastimes. So then there were certain more people left out. Everybody incarnated, so they went. Some of the devatas were left out. So they went to Brahmaji and they said, Brahmaji, can you please make some arrangement for us? Krishna is incarnating, we also want to go with him. Brahma says, but already it is full. Vrindavan is right now full. They say, what is this? This is injustice. Just make us a bird, make us maybe a snail, maybe Artwam, maybe something. Brahmaji says, no, but and the numbers of all these requests went on increasing. There were so many of them who wanted to incarnate, who wanted to come to Vrindavan. So Brahmaji said, don't worry, go and become the non-living entities, go and become the dust of Vrindavan. Go and become the mountains of Vrindavan. Go and become the kunds of Vrindavan. Go. So that's why we say, when we go to Vrindavan, even the dust of Vrindavan, we take it very seriously. They are not non-living. It appears non-living, but it is not non-living. These are all devatas. These are all pure beings who are waiting for this moment. And they incarnated as the living and the non-living beings of Vrindavan, as the residents of Vrindavan. So everything there is eternal, everything there is spiritual. So Prabodhanand ji is teaching us. He's saying what we should desire, that may we be engaged in the service of all the residents of Vrindavan. May we not find fault the way we are in the other part of the world. He says, The glories of Vrindavan is way too far beyond the reach of our minds. The bliss that people get in the Upanishads, well, that bliss emanates from Vrindavan. It is unknown. Very few people can know it. And then he goes on that don't ask me what is that thing, that unknown. Because that whatever is unknown, you're not able to understand, not able to decipher from your brains. Well, he says, that is the most wonderful thing. And what is this wonderful thing? He says, I don't know. Because I cannot explain it in words to you. You have to feel it. And you can feel it only when you come to Vrindavan. He says, the crowns of the Vedas are glorifying it. Naham vedmi kime tat adbhutam tamam vastutai mastakaihi svayam priti bharena gokulapatir yannityama sevate. Kandam prema rahasya kim maduram utkarshan antyasim no adbhut sandrananda rasasya va parinatir Vrindavanam pavanam. He says the Vedas are glorifying it. I do not know how to even glorify it. There is a wonderful thing. That wonderful thing for which even Shri Krishna craves. And Shri Krishna also wants to serve Vrindavan. It is a source of the sweetest nectar of love. Indirectly he is hinting at what is that thing that even Krishna is going crazy about. That is Radharani. Three things. Radharani, the Rajrani, and the Rasrani. Rasrani is a nectar of love, of divine love that is flowing everywhere in Vrindavan. Rajrani is the dust of Vrindavan. And Radharani, yes, of course. She is the source of all the nectars of love. So this Vrindavan is the creation of the most wonderful nectar of intense bliss. So, oh my brother, if you ask me what is that wonderful thing, well, you have to go and experience it. Ya madhut, he says, Madhuri motkarshantya simno adbhuta. This land, there is unlimited flow of madhuri ras. Madhuri means sweetness. There is unlimited flow of sweetness, nectarian love. So that can be experienced only when you go there. He says, I have decided, I have made up my mind. What if people criticize me? He says, it's okay. Sometimes, after hearing so much glories, and sometimes when you are reading the Bhagavad Gita, and then you are like, okay, I love Krishna, I just want to be with Krishna. So in your family, you are the only one who's attracted towards Krishna. So the first hurdle is to go and tell the people in your family, I want to go to Vrindavan. Can I go? If your family is supportive, very good, you are lucky. And if the family is not supportive, then they will criticize you. What's wrong with you? Stop going to all these places. There are so many other places to see in the world. What's there in Vrindavan? You want to go and see all those saints who are sitting right near the Yamuna and asking for alms, begging alms? You want to sit with them? You're like, no. I am going to Vrindavan. I just want to experience the love of Vrindavan. What? What do you mean? We don't give you love? Common arguments, right? What do you mean? Your family doesn't give you love? That you want to experience love in Vrindavan? You're like, no. It is something divine, something different. What something different? Explain us. And then you have to start explaining. It is Krishna, Radha Krishna's transcendental pastimes that happen in Vrindavan. And then you realize that it's going to deaf ears. Because they are not able to connect to those emotions. What Radha Krishna? Are they still alive? And what are you talking about? Conjugal love. Is this how you love Krishna? Krishna is God. Aren't you being sinful by thinking like this? People talk like that, right? These are the arguments people give. And here you are. I want to go to Vrindavan. I just want to go to Vrindavan. What do I do now? So, if you really love Vrindavan, now it is that bug, that love bug has only beaten you. It has not beaten the other family members. So you better now become strong. You are the one who is going to take the step to go to Vrindavan. Tell them I'll go on the weekend and come back. They will argue, what, on the weekend you'll come back? You don't really care about us? You'll be like, oh, the whole year I'm with you. I'm just asking one weekend I'll go to Vrindavan. Oh, why did I even marry you? If you wanted to become a sadhu of Vrindavan, why did you even have a family? Oh, I just want to go for a weekend and come back. If you really married me, if you really love me, you would have really allowed me to go to Vrindavan. Have I not given you everything? What else are we asking from you? What else? Just I want to go to Vrindavan. So all these arguments will happen when you are in love with Vrindavan. And now, when we are weakened in our resolve, in our determination, then here we go to this shloka where Prabodhanand encourages us. In his own mood, he is saying, Loka swachanda nindam vidanti vidatati yadi me kim tato dina dinam. If people want to criticize me, what is that? I don't care. Let them. People may say, oh, you go to Vrindavan, you will not do your job. Maybe you will get so interested. How will you live like a poor person? Do you really want to live like a poor person? You have a great life here. He's like, it's okay. If I become the poor of the poorest, I don't care. Maybe if I'm losing on some money, maybe I'm not doing the best of my job. But it doesn't matter, I'm out of this now. If I'm barely able to support my family also, it doesn't matter anymore. I have been bitten by the love bug of Vrindavan. Then people will again try to put fear in you. What if some calamity happens? It's okay, I don't care if all calamities happen. You have no idea I have been bitten by the love bug. Unless I go to Vrindavan, I will not be healed. I have to go to Vrindavan. If I don't, what's the point of serving everybody if I am not able to serve the beloved of my heart, this divine couple, Shri Radha Krishna? He goes on saying, Sevadishasya nasyadi yadi kimiva tata Srila Vrindavaneham. Life is useless if I am not able to serve Vrindavan. Sthayasyama sthaya dhairyam mama nija parmabhishta siddhir bhavati. I will have patience and patiently will remain in Vrindavan, and that way my greatest desire will be fulfilled. And what is the greatest desire? Right now it is gone beyond the family, gone beyond all religion, gone beyond my duties, gone beyond everything. My greatest desire is to serve this couple in the holy land of Vrindavan. This is my family. Radha, Krishna and the Sakhi Vrinda and Vrindavan and Yamuna and Giri Govardhan. This is my home, this is my family now. It doesn't matter if I get criticized for making a decision like this in my life. I would patiently hear it all, like what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught me. Trinadapi sunichena tarorapi shaishnuna. I'll become humbler than the blade of grass and be tolerant as a tree. And I'll go to Vrindavan. And Kirtaniya Sadahari. I will constantly remember him. Okay, so now after hearing this, you're making up your mind. Okay, let me go to Vrindavan. And then you're deciding, okay, this weekend I will go to Vrindavan, no matter what. And then you are thinking, so what do I pack? How many days? How many clothes? What will I eat? What will be there for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner? Well, that is not the right way to go to Vrindavan. What do you pack up for Vrindavan? Well, how you have to pack up your mind. You have to first train your mind. How? Prabodhanand Saraswati says, What will I wear there? Oh, I will wear a kantha kaupina. Kantha kaupina vasas tarutal patitai klipta vritti faladhyai kurvan vyarthavartam katamapi na vritha cheshtaya kalayapi tyaktva sarva bhimanam pratigriha matanam tuchya bhaikshaya kurvan vrindaranye nivatsyami nishamanusaran radhikai katmalokhan. He says, I will live in minimal dress. It is just a kantha and kaupin. I don't want anything else. Just a vessel with me in which I can hold some Yamuna water, and just a kaupin. Kaupin means it's like a small cloth which the saints wear as underwear. So I will just wear a kaupin. I don't want anything else. What about your food? Now remember this. This was written 550 years ago. Not maybe around 400. Sorry, I'm mistaken. Maybe around 400 years ago. At that time, Vrindavan was like a village. Even today, if you go to interiors of Vrindavan, it's like a village. But today, the Vrindavan has a different form altogether. If you go now, you will see houses, you will see hotels, you will see, shopping areas. It is very modernized now, especially the Vrindavan place near ISKCON and Prema Mandir. But this was earlier, 400 years ago or close to. So he's saying, so somebody must have asked him, what will you eat there? There's nothing in Vrindavan. He's like, doesn't matter, I'll take the fruits from Vrindavan, from the trees in Vrindavan. What will you drink? Yamuna water is there, no? What are you going to do? I am going to avoid talking to people. I will only talk whatever is required. And what you have to talk all the time? I have to talk about God. That's what is giving me pleasure now. Alam vishay vartaya ghor narak vibhavaya. Everything else is poisonous. Meaning, the talks that you do in the world, what are you attaining by that? Whole day you are in the world talking to this person, that person, trying to please people. Sometimes people continue their relationships just to, and they are worried. They'll call people to talk. They want to talk just because they are worried. If I don't call, if I don't talk, they will feel bad. What will they think about me? What will they talk? So just for the sake of pleasing others, people talk. And what a waste. When there is no love in the heart, to maintain a love you have to talk. What a waste. Love is such a thing that even if you didn't talk to that person for years, but the day you meet again, same love flows. But here in this world we live, oh no, if you have not spoken, you are a rude person. They don't understand you. But a devotee of the Lord, his nature becomes like that. He doesn't want to talk to people unnecessary. He is trying his best in this world to remember Radha Krishna. His struggles are hard, more harder than the others. So he says, I will go to Vrindavan. I don't want to struggle like this. I don't want to do unnecessary talk. I don't want to get into all these news channels and other things what people talk about. I don't want to talk about this. I will only do whatever is necessary. I will chant God's name. I will glorify God's name. That's about it. I will not be passing my time in all these useless deeds that you have to do in the world to make others happy. I will not do that. I don't want to do this anymore. I am abandoning all pride. I have made an identity of myself in this society, and people identify me with that, with the identity that I have given, but they are not understanding the hankering of my heart now. I am not that person that they see me as. Maybe people call me knowledgeable. Maybe people call me, I may have been a very good people pleaser. Maybe I am a very successful person. People have looked upon me. But now, my heart is only craving the love of Vrindavan, nothing else. Understand, this is Prabodhanand Saraswati. He had 10,000 followers. He was a propounder of the Advaita philosophy in Kashi. So what kind of respect he had, what kind of name he had in the society. And he says, I'm quitting that pride, and I'm just going to Vrindavan because I can't be what I was earlier. And this is what happens to the devotee of Shri Krishna. So he says, so here we learn from him, we get the inspiration from Prabodhanand. Abandoning all pride, I am going to go to each and every house and beg alms. I'll do madhukari. I'll ask from the Vrijvasis, give me food. So there is this madhukari where you go to 5 houses and you pick whatever the Vrijvasis will give you, you eat. And Vrijvasis, the residents of Raja, Vrindavan, are so nice. If you go in their house, ask them something, they'll give you for sure. If you go as a big crowd also, if they may be poor, the resident may be poor. But if he has just a roti, he will break the roti in those so many pieces and give you a roti and a butter, he will give you for sure. That is the nature of a Vrajvasi. Nobody in Vrindavan will ever remain hungry, and I am telling it to you by my own experience. I know how Vrindavan, Radharani is the greatest hostess. Nobody can remain hungry in Vrindavan. All ashrams, they offer food. So if you know the timings of the ashram, you go there, you have food there. If the ashram timing is done, so what? You will find fruit somewhere. People offer fruit to Bhagwan, go and ask a Pandit, he'll give you the fruit. Go to any Vrijvasi's home, please I am hungry, can you give me one roti or anything, whatever is left over, he'll give you. Whatever is there, if nothing is there, they'll give you at least a glass of milk. Milk is freely available in Vrindavan because of the cows. That is Vrindavan. Nobody can remain hungry in Vrindavan. I once went, I'm telling you my experience that I had. Very beautiful experience. So I and my friend, we used to do these sadhanas in Vrindavan. So every day we would go to one of the places, these leela places where sometimes in Gaivarvan, sometimes near Mansarovar, sometimes near Radha Kund, sometimes near Pili Kund, somewhere, different places. There are so many hidden places of saints. Sometimes in Govardhan, there are saints, So we used to go there, and the whole day we will undergo these austerities, chanting 64 rounds, or sometimes double the 64 rounds, 128. So we would do all this. So morning we used to get up, and we never cared about what food we are going to get where. Sometimes sitting in the Barsana temple the whole day, right from the time it opened. And then we were fed sumptuous meals. Once I was in Barsana temple and we were sitting since morning, the time it opened, and till afternoon, and the temple closed and everybody left, and me and my friend were still sitting because we had to finish our rounds that day. We had taken that sankalpa, we'll be sitting here and finishing our rounds. After everything was done, the mandir was closed. Then the Pujariji offered food there in the Barsana temple, and then he has been seeing us. He brought out all the Rajbhog from inside the temple and said, Lali, come here, take this prasad. And we were fed sumptuously. One time I went to Ter Kadam. I'm talking about 2013, 2012 or 2013, that time. And Ter Kadam, 10 years ago almost. And at that temple, now the Ter Kadam temple is very beautiful. Rupa Goswami's temple is very beautiful now. That time also it was very beautiful. Now it is looking more like a temple, but that time it was very raw, There was a kund there, beautiful, and the pujaris were there, very nice sadhus. And so we reached around 9 o'clock in the morning, and the moment we entered, those sadhus were like, oh Lali, oh Sakhi, come. So we said, we will be chanting there near the kund, is it okay? We want to chant so many rounds. He's like, yes Lali, why not? You go and chant, and when it is lunchtime, please take our prasad and then you go. And we will just give you madhukari. So, as I told you, madhukari means they'll go to some houses, whatever food, whatever they get, they wanted to share with us, because they consider us as sakhis, as lalis. This is a culture there in Vrindavan. So we were doing our chanting, and at around 1 o'clock we finished our chant. And then we came to the temple. So we were expecting some prasad, maybe roti butter or whatever they have, simple sadhus, right? But no, they made us sit down, and then they put the plate, and in that plate they are going on putting so many varieties of food. I went on eating because I didn't want to talk too much, but after the food was done, they brought us the kheer. And there was not one kheer, there was 2 kheer. I'm like, what are these 2 kheers? They said one is from Radharani and one is from Nandagaon. Because Terkadam Nandagaon is on a little hill and Terkadam is lowland. Okay. So I'm like, but who gave this kheer from Nandagaon? So there was this guy who had come to drop us in Terkadam temple and then he had left. So this driver was from Terkadam, was from Nandagaon. So in the afternoon, he knew because we two ladies are going to stay here, and he knew because the sadhus maybe they will be able to give or not. He was a young kid, maybe around in his mid-20s. This young kid, he went up. He was a driver. He was driving other people, So he was doing his duty. And at around like 12:30, when the Rajbhog was being offered in Nandagaon, he went up. And he got the Krishna Prasad from there. That was offered as midday midday prasadam to Nandagaon Krishna. And he got the food from there and he give it to the sadhus, saying them, you feed the ladies, I'll come later and pick them up. So I said, okay, I understood the story of kheer. But what about so many other varieties? So the sadhu now says, oh, in the morning there was a businessman who came here. Last week he had come from Delhi and his son had clicked some pictures here in Terkadam. And in those pictures they saw the shadow or some reflection of Shri Krishna. They were so happy seeing the pictures that this weekend they again came back with so much prasad to offer to Radharani because they were so happy. And that's why whatever prasad Didi, whatever prasad Sakhi Lali you are eating, it is the same prasad. So you are very lucky, Lali. You are having the prasad of Radharani Rupa Goswami, you are having the prasad of Nandagaon, and then you are having the prasad of a devotee who saw the picture like this. So this is Vrindavan. I am telling my experience because you'll never go hungry. You just go there and say, I am going to chant the whole day. I am going to be in the love of God. And you see how arrangements will be made for you. I never even think when I enter Vrindavan, I never even think where I am going to stay. Because I know. And because I have learned from Prabodhanand Saraswati, even if I don't get a place to stay, I'll slide down near Yamuna and I'll be safe. That is Vrindavan. So here he says, I will be like this. I will go to every home and beg alms, and I will be living with I'll be living with my tribe. What is my tribe? My tribe is all those lovers of Srimati Radharani. I'll be living with them, and this is the way I will live in Vrindavan. And then he requests one thing to Vrindavan. He says, Vrindavan, please bless me. What? Stri matre matra buddhi stira chara nikhila prani pranishu vapasya buddhi baya sheshartha labeshvapi hridaya mukhamlani kriddhani buddhi देह स्त्री वित्त पुत्रादिषु नहि मम धर्मीर्मित्त बुद्धि स्वशत्रुष्वापीडायां समन्तात् सुखतिमिर मितानंद वृंदावने अस्तु. He says, oh Vrindavan, I want to reside in your place, but please bless me with what? Let me see all ladies as my mother. Let there not be any tinge of lust in me. Let me serve all the living and non-living residents of Vrindavan. Let me not think that they are not spiritual. Let me worship them. Let my heart and my consciousness and my mind be cleared of all attachments to all the worldly things, including my women, my relatives, my children, my family. Let my heart be cleaned of all attachments. O Vrinda Devi, please bless me with this kind of consciousness, that I can live in your place in full bliss and stress-free. He says, after coming to Vrindavan, oh brother, what should I tell you? What has become to my situation? He says, the love of Vrindavan, I am so much drowned in it. The love bug has bitten so badly that now tikti bhuta vimuktir. If somebody talks about mukti, liberation, I find it very bitter. Niryad bhavati bhati visham nirayavad bhati sarvendriyartha. All those enjoyments of these sensory organs, oh, they appear to me like visha, like poison. Sarve bhoga bhavanti prabala garala. All the enjoyments have become like as if a poison, And not only poison, I feel like as if they are burning me right now. One here, the Bhattajwala Kalpa Kita Praya Samasta Pravar Suraganaha Siddhyaschendra Jalaha Praya Sanswadhya Vrindavanam Rasikarasam Madhyate Medya Medyam. He says, impersonal liberation is bitter. The objects of senses, they appear to me like a fearful, they are shining in front of my eyes like some hellish fire. And all these pleasures, the worldly pleasures, they appear to me like great flames which are going to consume me. And not only flames, they are as if they are poisonous gases coming from some poison. That's how I feel. So this sensory pleasure is like flames of virulent poison. And all the Devis and the Devatas and the Siddhis that you talk about, don't even talk to me about them, because they all appear to me like insects right now. Devatas are appearing like insects. Of course, in Vrindavan they have become insects. And all the Siddhis you talk about, yogic powers, oh my brother, they are all just magic. They are just a mirage. Don't even talk about to me anything. Because why? Because I am intoxicated in the love of Vrindavan. I am deeply intoxicated in the love of Vrindavan. Don't talk to me anything else. If you want to talk about the love. Otherwise, leave me alone. He says, Tyaktva Vrindavanamidamaho Chedibahiriyasi Nunam Chiptva Kalpadruma Varavanam Hanta Shakha Koti Meshi Hitva Vrindavana Rasakatha Manyavarta Ruchischeja Gyatam Chitva Paramamritam Bhoktumichu Svavishtham. Now he gets a little harder. He says, if you leave Vrindavan, if you leave this forest of Kalpavriksha and go to another forest, the material forest, if you want to stop talking about the nectar of Vrindavan, and if you are interested in the worldly talks, then knowingly, my dear brother, you are throwing away the sweetest nectar and you only desire to eat dog stool. That's how I will consider you. So he's saying, if you want only worldly talks, I understand that you are interested in dog stool, nothing else. Sinful or pious, he goes on saying, whether you are sinful or whether you are pious, whether you are famous, whether you are not famous, whether you are wealthy or whether you are very poor, so poor that it is difficult for you to get a morsel of food, whether you are very knowledgeable or maybe you are very dumb, very small-witted. Oh friend, don't get into all these things. Somehow just come to Vrindavan and with the help of your Guru and Shastra, just cut off these ropes of material illusion and come to Vrindavan. He says, oh my dear friend, come out of this thinking of I and mine. In Shlok number 69 he says, my home, my wife, my possessions, don't keep thinking of this my. They are all going to go away one day. Just take the help of your Guru's words. Just take the help of the Guru's words and cut off the shackles of illusion. Because all these things that you are building around you, my mother, my father, my son, my daughter, my family, my job, my home, my, every little that all those mine are nothing but shackles. So how do you cut it? Your Guru is telling you. Take the Guru's word seriously and cut off these shackles of illusion. Go to Vrindavan, which is the beginning of bliss. It is the kingdom of bliss. Live there on fruit and just simple foods and spend your time simply remembering the pastimes of the king and queen of Vrindavan, Shri Radha Chandra and Srimati Radhika. Adaiva murkhachala na kuru mithya, last shloka, na kuru mithya deha gedya gyahadapeksham mriti makhil pumartham ranchikam vidhi murdani chala suridya vaivabhimukhyena vrajadapi charidi kathora shila vrindavanasya. He says, oh fool, oh friend, don't behave like a fool. Run to Vrindavan. Don't make your heart harder than a thunderbolt. Don't harbor illusions about your body, about your home and everything else. No, understand, remember, that death can come anytime. So don't give any logic, run to Vrindavan. So with this we end Shlok number 70. May Radha Krishna, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabodhanand Saraswati, all the saints of Vrindavan, may they bless us. May this divine Vrindavan manifest in our heart. We'll meet you again in next video with the other beautiful Vrindavan meditations. Till then, Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Shri Radha.